welcome to a little something that is forever highly questionable. What do you like today, Bomani?
So it's your man, Odell. Why does this keep happening?
Vamos, papi.
Hold up, are the Vikings the NFC best team?
Here's the situation in football. It's the magic of football. We're 4 games in, and how much do we really know about anything? We don't know much of anything. We know the Patriots are well coached, and we know the Browns stink, and we know that Phillip Rivers has spent the last decade down 14 seconds left, and he's got to go the length of the field. But we don't know much else other than that. We do know the Vikings defense is really good. And if you score 17 points and you don't turn the ball over at quarterback, they've got a chance to win every single game because of how good that defense is.
All right, at this point in the year where you're basically asking us to tell the future, if you want to start answering questions like who's the best team, you look to one thing. Do you have one unit that we can count on? Because how many teams in the league right now have a unit you can truly count on? The Vikings have that in that defense. In the NFC, that's probably enough to make you the best team, because the only other team you really look at and say, wow, that's a great unit right now, is the Falcons' offense. And you know not to trust that.
Who do you think is most that the Vikings are 4-0? Adrian Peterson or Terry Bridgewater?
Terry Bridgewater. Love his work. Teddy Bridgewater's probably pretty upset because is he going to get his job back? Do we know?
And Adrian Peterson might think he can come back by week 8.
Is Odell Beckham Jr. right that he's been targeted?
Imagine how differently things are going for Odell Beckham if they had won that game against Washington and he wins that matchup against Josh Norman. Instead, they're now 2-2. Stuff like this is happening because people know they can get him to lose it. He gets up. That gets you 15 in this year NFL. This is just how it works.
That was a monster success for him last night, a catch for 3 yards.
All right, look at this, right? Now, Odell Beckham, after the game, he feels like it's politics, basically.
It's just my fault. That's all I look at it as. It's my fault. There's whatever you want to call it. I just have to understand. If I sneeze the wrong way, it'll be a flag. It'll be a fine. If I tie my shoe the wrong way, it might be a fine or a flag. It is what it is. You have to understand that.
You have that type of game that he had last night, 20 yards worth of catches in a loss. Your offense looks impotent. After everything that happened last week when you also lost, it's going to be impossible for anyone to hear anything there other than crybaby. However, I would say this. They're calling way too many taunting penalties in this league. I don't know why it is they're calling so many, but they're calling a ton of them. And what he did there wasn't very flagrant, but they are cracking down on that more on everybody than they have been in a long time.
But let's be honest here. They are looking for him to do things. Guess what happens when they look for him to do things? He's always over there doing something. Needs to be glad they ain't kick him out for what he did to that kicking net. That seemed really unfair.
Can I do the Odell Beckham impersonation?
I told you they were going to
Come on, Odell. You know, I mean, there is no crying in football. That's a man's sport. Get your together.
I mean, was he crying? It felt like an animal was being stabbed to
death.
death.
It sounded more like a chicken, and I thought he called a marble.
I was thinking like an owl was being butchered.
Is it better for Ben Simmons to play or sit this season?
All right, Ben Simmons has what they call a Jones fracture. He's here, and it'll probably take about 8 weeks for him to recover. However, this is one of those that's been attached to a lot of the names that have been big men who had foot problems. So we're hearing that Rich Paul, his agent, doesn't want him to play at all this year. Should he sit? If it's medically prudent for him to sit, then he should sit. If not, he should play. Here's the thing. The foot thing has happened. You're always going to be worried about the foot. If he's at a point where he's legitimately 100%, he's going to have to play sometime.
I do think, though, that this is a unique set of circumstances that allow you to be as super careful as you've ever been with anyone's foot because he is so young and because there are zero expectations for that team. You do err on the side of maximum caution. I wouldn't say sit out the season automatically. That's not what I would say, but I understand why Rich Paul, his agent, interested in 15 years of what is going to be ostensibly good basketball, doesn't want it ruined this fast.
And remember this, when LeBron James came to the league, he had a $90 million shoe contract. Ben Simmons comes in the league with a $20 million shoe contract. All the money on him is down the line. If you're Rich Paul, you start off with the hard line, then loosen up if you have to.
Can I do my Ben Simmons impersonation? Come on, Ben, this is my sport. This is basketball. You know, you got to get out there and you got to play. Cut this off, you know?
Wait, cut what off? And was that like an Australian animal?
That was amazing how quickly he changed characters, though. Did you see that? I thought he was in legitimate grief, and then all of a sudden, he was just rabid, rage-filled guy.
Is Charlie Strong getting a first shake at Texas?
Wait a minute, what happened? It was a couple of weeks ago. We were saying Texas is back, Charlie Strong fixed everything. And then we all learned, oh, look, Notre Dame stinks too. But if we're asking this question about Charlie Strong, we should also be asking it about Brian Kelly and Notre Dame, because he lost to Charlie Strong. They're in a situation where their defense is truly terrible. He's a defensive coach, but he hasn't gotten enough time there to clean up all of Mac Brown's stink. And I say that apologizing to fellow employee Mac Brown.
Thing is, he's washed a lot of that stink off, but he also brought some stink with him. If you have to replace your offensive coordinator in year 2 that you brought on with you, and in year 3 you demote your defensive coordinator, people are going to have questions as to whether or not you know what you're doing in terms of building your staff. So on that level, the criticisms of Charlie Strong are absolutely fair. It just gets to be difficult because we've dealt with like 2.5 years of everything coming up, everything being a catastrophe, everything being the one that's ultimately going to get him fired. Is this it? Maybe, because when you start calling your own plays as the head coach, you're basically saying, I'm the last guy to blame, and they blame you in this game by throwing you overboard.
You know, I'm beginning to wonder now. Charlie is a little bit sorry that he left Louisville now. You know, I say I should have stayed there. You know, after all that is happening there, you know, I mean, if Rick Petrino could do that at Louisville, I can do it too.
Rick Petrino, we need to create a character that's half Rick Pitino, half Bobby Petrino.
What just happened there? That was amazing, Rick Petrino. I want that guy. Half neck brace, half Dracula looking.
Was it fair to fire Barry Bonds just because his players were a bunch of no talent?
Well, the offense wasn't very good, and he wasn't a gentle personality in the clubhouse, and Giancarlo Stanton is reported to have had some issues with being called out loudly in front of people, which is how Barry Bonds ends up doing things. Is it fair? He's a hitting coach, and he's a prickly personality. Kind of the Marlins fire everybody, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to fire a hitting coach after a year, but they fire everybody, and he's not particularly gentle. This is the kind of guy who gets fired when you underproduce.
Though I would say this, if you hire Barry Bonds and then fire him because he's hard to get along with, I got some questions about what you thought was going to happen when you did, in fact, hire Barry Bonds. And also imagine, Barry Bonds as hitting coach, would you want to be the manager? Like, imagine being Don Mattingly. You're a pretty good hitter. You probably think you know something about hitting. Barry Bonds isn't trying to listen to you. If I was Barry Bonds, I wouldn't listen to a damn thing Don Mattingly had to say about baseball either.
That's so true. There was a report Don Mattingly on a plane didn't like how Barry Bonds reacted to something. Barry Bonds is telling Don Mattingly, hey, man, you can hit the way I hit. Nobody in the world hits the way I hit.
And he's Don Mattingly, former MVP.
Donnie Baseball is less baseball than me.
You mean to tell me Barry got fired because Stanton couldn't hit?
Uh-oh.
Are you kidding me?
Here we go.
Are you kidding me? I can. Don't worry, Barry. Now you got that experience in your resume. The next up is going to be a managerial job. Somebody's going to be knocking at your door saying, Barry, you are the man that I want to be the manager of my team.
There's a better chance of somebody knocking on Barry's door with a big old check saying he just won the sweepstakes.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
Oh, is he gonna? He's gonna get up. He's gonna. Oh! Oh no, that's useful. That is useful. Yeah, that is useful. Yes. Amazing.
Here's my question here. Did he specifically grow the rat tail, or had he grown everything else out and then cut it down to the rat tail and then decided that he was going to do the trident in the back of his head?
That has no friends. Do you question?
You give us topics and events. We question.
Do you question Javale McGee's hair?
All right. You know, like Captain Lou Albano, you remember him? How about WC from WC and the Mad Circle? You remember them? You remember the things they did with their beards? You remember that? You remember that?
The rubber band.
Now look at this. Right. It's like those other things I was talking about, except in the back. What this here's my question here. Did he specifically grow the rat tail, or had he grown everything else out and then cut it down to the rat tail and then decided that he was going to do the trident in the back of his head?
JaVale, I don't understand. You're a 7-footer, uncommonly athletic for a 7-footer. You are a punchline. Why are you adding this to what we're already laughing at, giving us more stuff to laugh at? And we're not exactly the most confident hair bunch either, by the way.
And the thing about it is, you get mad at us for laughing and you tweet about it, and then you just do this, like, you know what I want to do? I want to get back on that TV show with that old man on it.
You guys are missing the whole point. That's a basketball net.
What?
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
it. That's it.
No,
That's
it
its
is.
message. Yeah,
me
there
this.
you are. Yeah, that's a basketball net.
How is that a basketball net?
You see it?
Okay,
There's strands there.
I mean,
As if that
strands.
somehow makes it any better.
Okay.
No, it's
All
a
right.
basketball net. It's a piece of art.
Okay.
Do you question if this is a useful skill?
My guess is, based on this question being where it isn't useful because we don't celebrate usefulness around here. We mock uselessness. So what do we have here?
We do celebrate ingenuity. Like that, even his own apartment, it ain't got no furniture.
Oh, is he gonna? He's gonna get up. He's gonna. Oh! Oh no, that's useful. That is useful. Yeah, that is useful. Yes, amazing. That is. If you are in a big giant hurry
To do what?
to procreate, if you're in a like
You
in a
think that's
big
gonna help the
hurry,
cause?
in a big hurry, you're in a big
Like,
hurry.
what kind of hurry are we talking
Huge
about
hurry.
here?
Like you got 7 seconds
What are you
before
about to
work.
do, get evicted? Like, I mean, what hurry? That's not helping that process. That's not the sexy.
It may be turn off. It may be something of a turn off that you can get undressed that quickly.
You know, it would have come very handy when I was going to the bathroom last night. You know what I mean? I didn't make it, though.
Well, that goes without saying, Bobby. I
right.
feel like you really were heavy-handed there. Like the joke would have been funnier if you. I mean, this.
And it's really weird when somebody says this and it's not your father, you know?
It's especially weird when it is your father.
Do you question if this was lucky or good?
Going out to Pee Wee football. Wow, that's a pretty ambitious play for that level of sport. Oh, there you go.
I mean, that's pretty good right there. That's good hand-eye coordination.
I mean, it is good hand-eye coordination, but he only got to display that good hand-eye coordination because there were no other kids who were around.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I think it's probably worth pointing out, too, that guy is clearly 26 years old playing with kids. He is so much bigger than everyone else out there.
Where were the ref in that play? You know, I mean, that guy was down by contact. You know, I mean, that's it. You know, you got. Yeah, he was down by contact. You know, he cannot get into the end zone like that. What happened to the ref? They blew it again. You know.
Okay, fair
I mean,
enough.
I understand where he's going to bring this up. I just didn't want to be a hater. Though I do think there's a fair question to ask of where is the ref, because I don't think I saw a ref in this
I mean,
shot
are we
at all.
really talking about the referees
Oh,
here?
there's
Like,
the
what
ref.
are we doing?
That ref could get on his horse and go check that out.
What are
and
we
he
doing?
did not.
Okay,
Right.
down at the 10-yard line. It doesn't stop them from being a good catch.
Yeah. But at the same time, accountability is required. That's how we teach the babies.
What are we doing?
Do you question going for a little stroll?
Is this what I think it is? Is this somebody doing stupid stuff at great heights? Oh, no. It's just, what are you doing? This makes me physically ill every time I see something
Oh.
like this. Oh,
Whoa.
my God. Yeah. I mean,
Oh, you know they're not going to die. We're showing it. Whoa.
I know you know, but I get mad at these people for being so flippant about life.
Whoa. See that right there.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
I mean, shank one putt, right? Right, shank one 3-footer.
Look at my father. My father is laughing, and you can hear the fear in his laughter.
I could see the argument, though, how, like, jumping would be fun until the part where it wasn't. I mean, like, if you had a parachute jumping.
Well, does he have a parachute? Because that changes this slightly if he's got a parachute. Not much, mind you, but slightly.
By the way, this is some pretty impeccable balance. Like, I do feel like we're not giving enough credit for the athleticism that's being displayed here.
No, it's totally amazing.
Nerves of steel.
But it's horrifying.
Brains of cotton.
There you go.
Oh!
Oh, stop
See
doing
that
it.
right there. That one actually kind of shook me up.
Stop.
You have to have incredible body control to do that, man.
Wow.
My father did nothing this segment except laugh scared.
That's right.
Yeah, that is right.
That's right.
That is right. That's all he did.
Just watching the. That's not all I did, though.
In your pants. I
That's
can smell
the
it.
smell.
I can smell it.
That's right. Coming up next on my son's TV show, when he goes around the bases, Jose is going to be there running, coming out in left field and say, "Hey, Manny, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do this to us in a wild card game."
Okay, so
I blew that.
Yeah, you really did. You blew that. He's got Batista.
I can
Doesn't
say
matter
that.
why. Doesn't matter why.
Let's
Doesn't
just
matter
keep it
why.
moving.
Doesn't matter why.
That's too much sauce. Go diamonds on all of my fingers. That's too much sauce. Yeah, all of my diamonds, they shine. Haters like, knock that off. All of your diamonds are fake. Need to stop that dog. You really kissing that girl like she ain't though. Shaquille O'Neal with the haters because I'm blocking you all. Yeah, that's too much sauce. This broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is filled with desire. See or no?
Tell us what's on television. We will hope that one day he picks up the no card.
On TBS, the AL wildcard game, Orioles and Blue Jays.
Yeah, I expected the Blue Jays to win the World Series this year, so they'll probably lose tonight, and I'll be wrong as soon as the postseason starts. But let's check in on some guys, the rookies. You know how they do these pranks where they make the rookies dress up and stuff? Let's check in on one of the teams in this game. I don't know which one it is.
Orioles.
It's the Orioles? Okay, they're dressed up. What are they dressed up as?
Things.
Okay, things it is. There's a ballerina, a frog. Can you identify everything there? I can identify like 3 things there. But Monty, are you intrigued?
I'm telling you, baseball is here, and as usual, I'm rounding into shape to get excited just in time for the postseason. But this doesn't really count. This is like the play-in game in Dayton for the NCAA tournament. But when the postseason gets started, you come talk to me, and I got all your expert analysis.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued because, I'm expecting a big brawl in that game. Jose Bautista on one side and Manny Machado on the other side. Man is going to hit one out of the ballpark, and when he goes around the bases, Jose is going to be there running, coming out in left field and say, "Hey, Manny, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do this to us in a wild card game."
Okay, so
I blew that.
Yeah, you really did. You blew that. He's got Batista.
I can
Doesn't
say
matter
that.
why.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter why.
Let's
Doesn't
just
matter
keep
why.
it moving.
Doesn't matter why.
It doesn't matter.
On Comcast, Celtics and 76ers.
I mean, I don't think I want to watch this game if it's the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't want to watch these two teams. But let's check in on Joel Embiid. We haven't seen this guy play since 2014. Let's get some video for you of him against the most recent competition that he's faced.
Yeah.
There it is. There it is. Embiid not allowing anything there. I mean, he came so hard at him. He's very large.
Looked away.
Yes, just. Bomani, are you intrigued?
I am intrigued because I don't know how many games of Joel Embiid we're going to get, but the games that we do get of him, look at that dude. I mean, I understand that was a child that's standing there, but this is going to be amazing for a little while.
He's going to make J.J. Barea look the same way. Poppy, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued. That was very impressive. I'm telling you, he got what it takes now. That was Isaiah Thomas he was playing against, That's it.
He
showed that he got talent. That's right, buddy. I'm telling you.
That's a good
You
joke.
know how difficult it is to cover Isaiah Thomas,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Isaiah. I'm sorry he did that to you.
On ESPN, Clippers and Warriors.
Yeah, I'm actually interested. I want to see what the Warriors look like. It's going to be a struggle for a little bit, right? No, maybe, kind of. Let's check in on Steph Curry here. Let's see what's going on with Steph Curry. Oh, there you go. He got a delay of game for that, Bomani. Was he calling for the ball from over there? It seemed like he was calling for the ball from over there. That's going to be the greatest thing that undermines this team, right? That everybody's going to want to shoot from out there. Bomani, are you intrigued?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Clippers, Warriors. If Chris Paul hit Draymond Green in the end scene, who do you root for?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
See, I'm very intrigued. Listen, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Kevin Durant, buddy. I mean, you blew the first game. You didn't do that well in the first game. Now it's the second game. Now you got to step up. You got to step up and show everybody that you still what it takes, to make it big now. This is no kid stuff now, Kevin. Come on.
Still have what it takes. He ate a word there for some reason. I don't know. He's struggling this segment. I mean.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
The Right Time with Bomani Jones, ESPN Radio, 4 to 7 Eastern. You should listen.
Gracias. See you mañana.
let me get this straight, Bomani. You're interested in preseason basketball, but not baseball playoff?
I mean, he's got you there. bro.
Wow.
Oh, he's got you there.
Wow.
He ain't got nothing. It's baseball's fault.
Wow.